Hi, and welcome back to another Tech Talk. Today I'll be teaching you how to navigate through Windows 11. Let's get started. Okay, hi, welcome to my laptop here. We're running on Windows 11 right here. We can go ahead and get started here. Let's go down to our taskbar on the bottom of our screen. Here you'll see an icon here that's representing File Explorer. We go ahead and click on File Explorer. It will open it up for us. And here is going to be a very useful application that you're going to be going to all the time. For those who aren't familiar with it, File Explorer it manages all of your files, including downloads, documents, pictures, music, and more. So if you were to download something from the internet right now, if you go to downloads, you would see it here. Anything that you can also move anything that you need from downloads into documents, and anything you can designate where things save as well. Here you can see I have a document that I've been working on, or I've worked on before. Say we had a lot of clutter and mess in this documents sidebar here. If you go up to the top right and go to the search bar where it says search documents and click here, we can type in computer analyst, and it will search up that document respectively out of all the files that have that name. And we can click the X right here, or just simply back out of this, and it will bring us back to where we were. Now keep in mind, this is only searching within this certain file, or certain file designation here. So if we switch to pictures, you notice on the top right here, the search bar says search pictures. So it will only search for files within this category here. If you want to search your whole computer though, however, we can scroll all the way down and you should see something that says this PC. You can expand this by clicking on the arrow right here and click on your local disk. And then you can search your whole computer by searching through this local disk. Now this may take a little bit longer than usual since it has to go through every single file on your computer, but it does work. So if we go here and type in computer analyst, it'll take a while to kind of look through every single file that we have on the disk, but eventually it will turn up with that file. Now for the sake of this video, I would like to not have you wait for this, but just know that that's there. Moving on, I would like to exit out of File Explorer. And just as a tidbit of information, you have 3 buttons usually for every application and window that you open up. So you have the minimize button, which will just put it in the background for you. So if you open it back up, it's back there. It doesn't actually close the application for you, but it's in the background. You can maximize the application here and it'll take up your whole screen. If you click it again, it'll minimize it back to a manageable size. You can also take the corners here and just kind of move it around to the size that you'd like. And of course, if you'd like to close your application, you can click on the top right corner here and click close. Okay, finally moving on to the next section here, I'd like to point out the search bar. If we go down to here, and you'll see a search bar right here. If you go right here, you can also search for files, applications here as well. So for example, we can see Firefox on our desktop right here. If I were to type in Firefox, you would see that it would show up here. We can right click on it and get some more options as well. So we can run it as administrator if we need to be running it as administrator. You can also open it up the file location and it'll show you where that application is living in the File Explorer. And you can also pin this to your taskbar as well. So if I were to pin it to the taskbar right now, you can see that it showed up here, and we can also unpin it from here. Search bar is very useful for finding applications, documents, and just also getting to places relatively quickly. Which brings us to our next point here. If I were to type in settings, this is very important. You would want to click on settings here. And here is the settings for our Windows 11 operating system and our computer in general. So as you can see here, you can go to System and you can see a plethora of settings here. So you have power and battery, your display, your sound, and a lot of other things. If you wanted some more information like on your Bluetooth devices and stuff, there's also a tab for that. You can also connect to your Wi-Fi here. So if you go to the Wi-Fi and internet site on the sidebar here, you can see what Wi-Fi networks you're connected to. So if I click on Wi-Fi here, and then you can manage the known networks that you're already connected to, or you can show available networks and try to connect to them. Another useful feature that I really want to stress that is important that you try to keep upkeep with is this tab right here, Windows Update. If you click on Windows Update here, it's going to show you all the updates that you have for your Windows 11 operating system. So I would suggest trying to check in frequently with that and just making sure that you install any Windows updates. As you can see, I have a few here that I haven't done yet, but I should do those here after this talk. But I would install them, and whenever it requires a restart your computer. It is very important to upkeep this, as it will keep and maintain the security and well-being of your computer. Moving on to the next point that I have, I'd like to bring up the system tray. So if we go down to the bottom of our taskbar right here and go to this little icon right here, this is what we call our system tray. This is showing a lot of our background processes and any frequently used applications that we use here. So as you can see, I have Microsoft Teams here. I have Microsoft 365 Copilot, and some other things like our security software, antivirus, etc. I have a USB drive here, and I want to stress this point, as a lot of us tend to use this USB drive and get our files and put files on there. So if we were to connect it right here to the side of our computer, File Explorer usually pulls it up whenever you connect a USB drive. But I stress this only because it is important to eject your USB drive before you take it out of your computer. You don't want to typically forcefully just tear off your USB from the computer. So from the system tray now, if I show it, we can see that a new icon has appeared here that kind of looks like a USB. It says safely remove hardware and eject media. If we right click on this, we can click eject cruiser, which is kind of the name of our USB. And whenever you do that, it says safe to remove hardware. So now if we're able to remove our USB drive safely and without any files becoming corrupt or potentially being damaged in the process of us removing it. As for that, you can also right-click on the taskbar and bring up taskbar settings if you don't like the way the taskbar looks, or if you need to bring up Task Manager to kill some processes. But aside from that, I believe that is all I can really provide you at the moment in terms of the basics of Windows 11. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you at the next Tech Talk.